Didik TV KPM.
Baik, pelajar-pelajar STPM 2021 yang sedang menonton sekarang, kembali kita dalam Sukses 2021 untuk STPM. Dan hari ini kita akan belajar bagi mata pelajaran Matematik M kertas 3. Dan sekarang cikgu bersama dengan saya, Cikgu Zai. Cikgu nak fokuskan apa pula untuk segmen kali ini? Silakan cikgu.
More on the decision mathematics component. So we'll be looking at critical path analysis, inventory models.
Okey. Ada dua kali ni cikgu nak fokuskan.
Yes.
Silakan cikgu.
Okay, right. Okay, for the critical path analysis, so this is the question. Okay, normally they will give you a table to show the activities and the duration. Okay, so make sure you know how to read the table. Okay, looks complicated, but the tip is I always say to my student, activity. Okay, we start with activity A, B. C is after A. Instead of saying that the preceding activity of C is A, we always say C is after A, D is after A, E is after B, D, and so forth. This is how we read the table. Okay, what is the instruction? Again, when you read the question, look at the instruction. So here you have to draw an AON. I repeat AON here, not AOA. So what is required? Activities, duration, early start time, later start time must be indicated clearly in the AON. And then part B, the task word is state, means that you don't have to show working. Okay, state the critical path, minimum completion time. Okay, let's look at the solution. Okay, notice that there are 8 activities just now, 8, yes? So make sure there are 8 notes. Okay. So make sure you know how to find the earliest start time. Okay, here we have 2 entering activities, 7 plus 6, 13, or 15 plus 7, 22. We choose the longest duration. The earliest start time is, if we have 2 possibilities, choose the longest duration. Next, the latest start time. We have 2 possibilities here for activity B, okay? So 15 minus 8, 7, or 11 minus 8, 3. We choose the shortest duration. Remember the tips, okay? To get the earliest start time, latest start time. And please, students, do not forget to do the key. Most students will lose marks sebab lupa nak draw the key. Must indicate, because the question says just now, indicate the activity, duration, early start time, latest start time clearly. Okay, and then use arrows. No lines. Kalau buat lines, habis, ya. Students will lose a lot of marks, okay, to represent the precedent relation. Okay. Next, to find the critical part, students must find the critical activities. How to find the critical activities? Here, the 2 sharats given there. Early start time is the same as latest start time, or total float is 0. Okay, look at the AON. So from the AON, see the one with the same values. So those are the critical activities. But how you write the critical part is A-D-E-G. Do not use comma. Kalau comma, habis. Okay. So how to get the minimum completion time? Look at the end note. This is called the end note. So the minimum completion time is 33 days. Okay. So senang ya, AON is very simple. Okay, and then you can check by just now we say C is after A, D is after A. Check whether the preceding activities are correctly drawn on the AON. Okay, besides AON, students must know how to construct AOA. Okay, AOA network means activity on arc. The activity is written on the arc. Okay, in other words, of arrow is arc. Okay. So you can also check, betul tak? Yes, you can check C and D is after A, yeah, here, A, C, D, okay. And then again, the start time sama saja, kita buat forward pass. Okay, this is called forward pass. We have 2 entering activity for early start time for G. We have 13, 22, choose the longest. And here, latest start time for activity B, okay. We have 2 also backward pass, ya. Tadi forward, so backward means kita deduct. So 15 minus 0, 15, 21 minus 10, 11. Again, you choose the shortest duration. Okay. Again, key. Jangan lupa, key. And then to find arrows again to show the activities. Make sure you know the difference between AOA and AON. Okay, critical activity is the same. Total float must be 0. So identify the arcs that is critical. Okay, so critical part is A-D-E-G. So your minimum completion time here is 33 days. Okay, besides AON, AOA, students must know how to construct Gantt chart and resource histogram. So for Gantt chart, this is one way of constructing, whereby the activities are on the left and the number of workers are on top of the bars and the total number of workers are below. This is the resource histogram. So my tip is to draw the resource histogram, do on the graph paper. Okay, now besides this, they might ask you to find the minimum number of worker or minimum time to complete a project. For example, here, 2017, 5 PNC. Okay. The instruction here is that find the least number of people required to complete the project in minimum time. Justify your answer. Don't forget that. Part B, project to be completed with the least possible number of people. Least possible means here the question 3. Ramai students tak tahu berapa least possible tu actually given, stated in the question 3. So ramai tak boleh jawab ni ya. 3 marks tu ramai tak boleh jawab. So what is the number of days for which the project completion is delayed? Justify your answer again. So this is the solution. Okay, ni example when I said this is another way of drawing the Gantt chart. Here the critical activities are drawn on one line, one bar, okay? And the activities are written on the bars and the number of workers are also written on the bars, okay? So find the total number of workers. So for each day, you add up all the workers. So from the table below there, the least number of people is 5. Okay, this is the justification. As indicated in the total number of people, that is your justification. So this step here is very important, okay, to justify your answer. So what must you do in order to get the least number of people? 3. So you have there 4, 5, you have to change to 3. So you delay D by 2 days. But we have a total float of 1. So when you delay D, you can apply 1 float, meaning that you delay by 1 day. So conclude. Okay, project is delayed by 1 day. Itu yang diminta. Justification ni lah. Because we want to reduce to 3 people, so we have to delay D by 2 days, hence delay the completion time to 14 days. Ingat ni Mira, the word to and by itu very important, okay? Okay, then we have inventory models. Again, this is very lengthy, but it's very simple. Again, read, interpret, and translate. But most important for inventory models, okay, we have to look at the unit of time used. Make sure they are the same. So sini, constant weekly demand and cost per week. So we selamat sini. Students are safe. They don't have to change to days or to months or to years. Then we translate. Here, the weekly demand D, we use the word D. Holding costs are 15%, so 0.15 times the unit price. Okay, and then the back order cost, the ordering cost, semua translate into mathematical sentence. So the task word is determine, meaning that you have to show working. Kena tunjuk working. Okay, that's the key word. So present all the information in mathematical sentence. Okay, that's why I said here must be stated clearly. So kalau per week tu you lupa tulis tak apa, but make sure you show how you get the 0.75, 1.25 clearly. Kena tunjuk, okay? So present all the information in mathematical symbol. And then my advice is to write down the formula so that you substitute the values correctly. And students can leave the answer either in decimal value or round off to 894 or 895. Tak perlu write all 3, just choose 1, okay? So you can write either one, okay? Jangan buang masa, okay? Right, then for back order, okay? So substitute the correct values again, either decimal values, round off to 335 or 336 bottles. Okay, besides this, students must, okay, these are all the formulas that students must know. Notice that the first one are given in the question paper, the rest tak ada. So you have to memorize and know how to use. And normally they will ask you which policy is the best, EOQ or EOQ with back order. So we have to find the total inventory cost. So when finding the total inventory cost, Mira, okay, sometimes in the question they include the cost of the price per unit. Hence, the annual purchasing cost must be included. Ramai yang terlupa. Okay, so must be included. And make sure they understand all this symbol means. Yeah. So saya takkan terang, nanti masa tak cukup.
Okay.
Okay, right. This is important. Besides that, students must also know the inventory graph for basic EOQ and must know what does it mean here. By the cycle time 2.4 means that every 2.4 months the inventory will be replenished. Ya, dia akan naik balik, dia akan naik balik. And then understand what does reorder means. So they interpret. So we interpret that an order should be placed when there are 833 units remaining. This is how you interpret sebab dia tanya. So reorder point, please make sure the final answer must be in integer. Okay. So this is how lead time. From the graph, you can tell the lead time is 1 day. But 1.4 plus 1 is 2.4. Okay, tunjuk sekali saja for the lead time. Tak perlu buat untuk every point. Okay, that is EOQ. Now, this is EOQ with back order. So far, okay, soalan ni ada pernah tanya. Okay, but not sketching lah. But something related to back order, the T1 and T2. Okay, make sure you understand what all this symbol means. Okay, Q is inventory level. T, okay, T is very important. You must identify the units. This is days. Okay, so here for back order is very important that you must know the maximum inventory. How do you get it? The Q, EOQ minus the shortage. So you get the maximum inventory. So when the maximum inventory plus the back order will give you the EOQ. Okay. So again here, this is how you interpret for EOQ with back order for the reorder point. And order should be placed when there are 135 units of back orders. So notice that here when we say back order, the values are negative.
Okay.
Okay, the values are negative. So here the lead time pun we can tell is 5 days because we add up 27.7 plus 5, we have 32.7. Okay, so what does T1, T2 means? T1 means the inventory on hand, the duration of time, the inventory yang kita ada, and T2 means the stock out occurs. Maksudnya masa tu kita punya quantity stock out shortages occurs. So make sure you understand the formula, remember the formula and know how to sketch the graph of the inventories.
Okey. Cikgu, maksudnya untuk jawapan ni kan cikgu, pelajar perlu rumuskan juga ke cikgu?
Kalau dia minta what does interpret the reorder point.
Okey.
Kalau dia tak interpret tak apa. Kalau
Baik.
dia kata just sketch the graph, this is it only.
Sajalah. Okey. Bergantung kepada soalan juga
yes,
cikgu.
they have to read the question carefully.
Yeah.
Kalau dijawab tak apa, tapi time is wasted.
Yes, betul tu. Okey, cikgu, kita berhenti berehat seketika cikgu. Kita kembali selepas ini. Pelajar di rumah jangan ke mana-mana.
Didik TV KPM.